Welcome to r/Tales from Tech Support, where we get to have a little chuckle at the technologically disadvantaged. Like me. I'm Uncle Reddit, and have I got a story for you. Welcome back to the channel. As you might be able to tell, my visitor's back, so I figured I'd turn the other camera on. He doesn't seem to mind it as long as I don't put it, in his face, so if I went around the other side of him, he'd take off. I don't know why he gets like that. He's never been struck in his life, but let's read some stories. Email. Internet is still down. This just happened, and while I understand why it did, it still makes me facepalm. My workplace has 2 locations. I work the main one, while this takes place in the second location. This location has been having lots of issues with their internet recently. I get a text from someone there telling me that the internet is out. The fix is simple this time, and is just a quick reboot of the modem. When it went out, I sent a copy-wide email letting everyone know the internet is down. When it comes back up, I send another one letting everyone know it's back up. Then I get this email. Hi, you generic Chinese name. I just looked on my computer and we don't have internet access. Edit. Changed computer access to internet access because that's what the email actually said. So yes, she replied to an email she just received with another email to let me know that she didn't have internet. And this person is supposed to be the second in command at that location. Quick edit. She does not have email set up on her phone. I'm honestly not even sure she has a proper phone to do that with. That actually happened to me once. We had a power outage here at the house because of a thunderstorm that was going on. And a little while later, the power came back on, lights came on. I asked one of the kids to go make some microwave popcorn, and they told me they couldn't because the electricity was out. Even though all the lights in the house had come back on, TVs, everything. Yep. His computer. An elderly gentleman had his PC set up in a sort of a shed outside. It was insulated, carpet on the walls. Warm and generally a nice place, but full of tools, half-finished projects, self-made shells, you know the drill, an old guy doing old guy stuff. I feel targeted. Anyway, his PC had fallen 5 feet from a shelf it was on, taking the monitor with it. The case was dented, the motherboard had snapped in half, the CPU, socket, and its heatsink had ripped free of its retaining screws, and the monitor was cracked clean across the screen. Holy cow, it fell or did he throw it? A competitor had got there first but said it needed replacing, it couldn't be fixed. The old guy didn't want that. The old gentleman berated the incompetence of anyone who couldn't just hammer it back into shape. I asked if I could take it with me and come back in a few days. It needed some work in the workshop. He was happy with this. He was just happy to have someone who knew what he was doing handle it. I took it back. 4 days later, fully working. All the guy's files were there. His desktop background of his granddaughter was there. His silly screensavers and weird desktop icon positions. All there. The competitor called me. How the blank did you fix that? He said it looks the same through the side window that it always did. He even said you got the cracks out of his monitor. I brushed off the competitor. We drank together sometimes, but I didn't agree with his upsell and heavy margins. We're in a deprived area. We need to help, not hurt. The hard disk had survived, so I replaced the motherboard, setting its NIC to max spoof and BIOS to get Windows 7 Home Premium to not need reactivation. The CPU survived, so did the heatsink. Replaced the PSU, which had been hammered, and bought an identical monitor. eBay got me an identical case side panel to fix his smashed acrylic window. Finally, the monitor was a fairly common 21-inch handsaw, cheapest chips. Okay, how much did you charge for all that? £600. 600? He could have bought a new computer for that. That's not what he wanted, though. He wanted his computer. I gave it to him. I'm not so sure that's a matter of incompetence on the other guy's part. Everybody has their thing that they do. Most companies aren't willing to take something that old and that bashed up, take it apart, start, searching eBay for parts and things like that. It's just not worth it for them to do it, and I don't know what the guy's markups are, so as to the other comment, I can't really speak on that. But I get it, Some people just want to help out and, they're willing to take less profit, and that's fine. I mean, it's kind of like me as a carpenter. If someone called me and told me that their coffee table was broken and wanted that coffee table fixed, I could fix it, but it's not something that I do. I usually build new furniture. I could do repairs, and if I needed the work, I probably would, but It's just not something that I do. Doesn't mean I'm ripping them off by suggesting they need a new coffee table. But everybody's different. International meeting? I was working as an in-house IT for a health insurance company by the east coast of the US a few years back. The director of marketing, who we'll call Maven, was hosting a conference call with her team in the office's conference room. In IT, she's renowned as being the complete opposite of tech-savvy. Soon after our meeting starts, I hear the conference room door slam open, followed by heels clacking on the ground towards the IT office, where I'm just getting started on my first cup of coffee. The following conversation ensues once she appears in the doorway. Maven. Procmill, help! My meeting was changed to be held in Borgata. I can't have my meeting like this. My field team is going to be charged for international calling when they dial in. Me, Borgata? Never heard of that place, but sure, I'll take a look. Let's head over. Being that Maven has access to some sensitive company information due to her position as director, my coworker who overheard this immediately got around to changing her password and temporarily disabling her account while I investigated, just in case the meeting location actually was changed by another party. We get to the conference room where she has her laptop opened, with Outlook's calendar staring back at me. Me. Okay, Maven, where is this Borgata issue you speak of? Maven proceeds to open up the meeting invite she sent to her team. She points to the date and time that the meeting is set for. Maven. Look, right there, it says it is being held in Borgata. Me. Maven. That's not Borgata. That says Bogota, as in Bogota, Colombia. This field refers to the meeting's time zone, which you might have accidentally selected while creating this meeting. The location was not changed. Maven. What? How could I have selected a time zone on the other side of the world? Me. Well, it's actually very close to Eastern Standard Time, so it very easily could have been a misclick on the drop-down. The meeting time is the same regardless, though. Maven. Oh, thank goodness. I'll let the team know. Thanks, Procmill. Me. No worries, but you'll have to set up a new password. We reset it for you when you said the meeting location was changed, just as a precaution. Maven. Wait, so someone else did change the location? Oh no! One explanation later and all was well with the world. Borgata will never harm anyone again. Borgata. And the fact that she thought Colombia was on the other side of the world too. Yeah, I'm not sure what her skill set is, but it's definitely not geography. What's OCRA? A few years ago, I worked for a document processing company where most employees received scanned typed documents and read the document while manually typing it into a system. One day, while troubleshooting Adobe on a PC, I asked the user if they needed the OCR button added back. This is a 20-year veteran of the company who's been in the same department the entire time. Me. Adobe's fixed for you now. Would you like me to add the OCR button back? User. OCRA? What? Me, yes, the process which turns a scanned typed document into one where the text can be copied and pasted into another program. User, silence, gears turning, trying to calculate how much time they've wasted not using this feature. More gears turning, realizing no one in the department uses this since this user trains all other users. User, can you show me how this works? I proceed to show the process and have the user go through it a few times so they can train others. After this call, I had to reflect a while on what just transpired. Did I just get some people fired? Oh no, I said with a clamoring sound, dropping my stapler on the cold, snowy ground. To all a good night. May OCR always treat you right. If I had a nickel for every trainer that was training me to do a job that didn't really know how to do their job to begin with, let alone train somebody else to do it, I would probably be very rich right about now. That cat's something else, isn't he? I guess I found the right spot to put the camera. Any other time he'd run. Amazing. The non-working keyboard and character limits. Let me preface this with, I started my current job 5 months ago and I'm still learning all the third-party systems. A lot of our users are working from home today. I live up in Maine and we have some decent ice going. Actors. Me, Danuan KBH, the intrepid sys and network admin for a regional health facility. FPE, our user. And to be honest, the users at this business are all unicorns. They're friendly, they listen, they joke with us. FPE calls in, we go through how I'm her favorite and she really appreciates IT, especially this time of year. My keyboard doesn't type anymore. I was typing info to a case and it just stopped. I know she has a wireless keyboard, so I asked the obvious, did you try new batteries? FPE says, no, because the keyboard on my laptop won't type anymore either. Can you move the mouse around? Maybe your laptop is just locked up? I ask reasonably. No, I can move the mouse. Maybe I just hit a key combo that caused the keyboards to not work? FPE asks in earnest curiosity. I'm not aware of any combo that would do that, honestly. Let's do this. Reboot the laptop and try again. Let me know how it goes. Why is it I did not think of that before I called? FPE says with a smile. You know your IT folks. If we're not allowed to say, did you turn it off and back on at least once a day, we get depressed. We go ahead and hang up. No reason to sit on the phone as I'm positive this will fix it. I get an email from FPE not 10 minutes later that says, so I told you I was working on cases. Apparently I had filled the text box and was not allowed to add more characters. Instead of the system telling me that, it just didn't allow me to add more information, i.e. I perceived that my laptop and keyboard stopped working. Might be good for you to know when other people's brains stop working such as mine did. I love our users. Yeah, I love it when I'm filling out forms online and things like that, and there's a character limit, but you don't really know that. Some of them aren't even labeled. They don't even say max, 200 characters, 5,000 characters, whatever. And you're sitting there banging away on the keyboard, and all of a sudden you notice it's not doing anything anymore, and you have no idea why. And you don't think to click on something else. You're trying to type in that box. So, yeah, it'd be nice if a message popped up. Even if there was a message at the bottom of the box that says max character limit or whatever, just a message that pops up and say, yay, you reached your limit. Be weary. Hi folks, back again with Tales from Typewriter Support. I suppose I'm not particularly the best judge of character when it comes to people. You can't open them up and see how they work like you can with a typewriter. Well, you could, but you'd find yourself in some unsavory circumstances. I had a customer come in once with a lovely German portable typewriter in need of cleaning and repair. We had a lovely chat about all sorts of things from typewriters to fountain pens, and she gave me a cute little pocket notebook and some stickers. I thought she seemed like a wonderful person, one of those rare individuals that actually makes you want to continue business with them. She signed my payment contract without question or problem, and there I had 2 clauses listed. Everything on there exists because I've been screwed for it in the past. First is the $20 assessment fee, non-refundable, and it doesn't go to the final bill. It's merely for me to take the time to strip the machine down and tinker with it to get an accurate list of problems and dial in the quota as close as possible. Second clause, I can't return the machine to you before you've paid. I didn't think these would be an issue. I've had folks complain, but that's just how I need to do business. I can't have people walk off without paying for hours of work, nor do I want to take a half hour to an hour on a machine to diagnose it, only for the client to say, no thank you, and walk away. I acknowledge my time has value to it. I get down to business and start working on the typewriter. I'll refrain from stating the model, but it was a 70s era plastic shell. The machine itself was covered in surface rust from the humidity. It also had a handful of mechanical parts needing disassembly, repair, and replacement parts. All in all, the quote came out to just shy of $200, which I have listed as average repair price. She responded that it was a bit high, so I cut it down by nearly half. The thing about me is that I like to work within an industry standard. I don't like half-assing projects, so while I cut the quote, I still did the work. It amounted to about several hours of unpaid work, but I figured it was worth it because she seemed nice. I have a nasty habit of underbilling. She agrees to the new price and voices no further complaints. Damn, that machine came out looking like new. Truly a fine writing instrument. She comes by to pick it up a week after our initial scheduled date, doesn't say much and drives off. I figured she must have been in a hurry. I get an email that evening from her stating that the sole reason she paid me at all was so I wouldn't hold her machine hostage, as per my contract, as well as voiced a distaste that the assessment fee doesn't go towards the quoted work. So that was the only reason? Ouch. Not that it looked fantastic. It actually worked. It came with free parts and a ribbon. Typed super well, dialed into factory specs that were decades out of alignment. She didn't voice any particular concern, but it was just one large undertone of disappointment. I suppose she was trying to butter me up for a better price early on. Not the first time someone's tried that trick, but I fall for it every time. I guess it just wasn't low enough for her. I figured she'd maybe appreciate good workmanship, but today's society doesn't really value that much anymore. One thing's for sure, I don't work for free. Yes, preach it. Do not work for free. I love how everybody thinks that somebody doing something for them or selling something to them should be charitable and give you a really good deal. Yet, when it comes time to fill out their paperwork at the end of the week or punch the time clock or whatever, they think their time is worth so much more. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Hey guys, if you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Click the one on the screen right now. I think you'll enjoy that one too. Yeah, and hopefully Nickel here will come back for the next video too. Merry Christmas, guys.